Welcome to the second part of the introduction to the advanced customer quote feature of QLM sourcing. In this video, we focus on the power of the customer quote workbook. The new advanced customer quoting feature allows you to quickly turn the results of your sourcing event into a customer quote with no extra data entry. The easy-to-use interface was described in the previous video. Click the link in the description below. Today we will focus on the customer quote workbook where your rules-based customer pricing algorithms are implemented. Excel macros and formulas apply your margins, markups, long-term agreements, volume discounts, and any other pricing adjustments to your supplier quoted costs to arrive at your final customer quote price. The actual customer quote form is also fully customizable, so it presents the quotation to your customer in your standard PDF format. Let's get started. I'll be using RFQ number 156. Let's head over to the Customer Quote tab. Notice the version box. You must have the current version visible. Only the current version may be downloaded to the Customer Quote workbook. To start adjusting your customer prices, click the download to download information from QLM sourcing to the Customer Quote workbook. It is in this workbook that you will adjust your costs to arrive at the price for your customer. Your workbook is customized to reflect your pricing model and rules. When you first open the workbook, you must enable editing and enable content to allow the macro-controlled workbook to process the data. The workbook will not operate without both of these allowed on your file anytime it is opened. Pricing adjustments are made on the Report tab. Click Create Report to populate the Report tab with the part information you downloaded from QLM sourcing. The layout of the Report tab is fully customizable. This is where we add fields and put calculations in place so that you can factor in tariffs, freight, duty, and any other pricing adjustments. The entry fields in this workbook are highlighted yellow, so they are easy to see. In the first two entry fields, you can tell the customer you are not providing them with a quote or hide the part from them. For this example, we will hide part 222 and no quote part 333. Now let's go through and set up the quote for part 111. The lead time quoted by the supplier is 18 days, but this part will require 21 days. We enter our 21 days in the override field. Next, we can see the supplier quoted price and landed cost. This is where we can decide on the appropriate markup percentage to apply to the landed cost to get to our final customer price to be shown on the quote. The last step on our Report tab is to enter any comments or exceptions that we want to show on the quote regarding this part. When we are customizing your implementation, we can add other information to this layout that you need to use or reference to arrive at the final customer price or appear on the customer quote form. Let's go look at our Customer Copy tab to preview the quote that will be sent to your customer. Here is a sample layout of the information we want to show our customer when we quote. For part 111, we can see our override value for lead time and the final customer price appearing as our piece price. We can also see that part 222 is not on the quote since we marked it as ignore, and part 333 is shown as not quoting. Further down the form, we can include any terms and conditions the customer must see. This entire format is fully customizable to include the information you want to provide to your customer using your branding and preferred presentation layout. If there are any changes to be made to the information appearing on your quote, changes must be made on the Report tab. If you are satisfied that this is what you want to send to your customer, return to the Report tab. Click the Save Report button to save all your changes. Part of saving changes includes saving the workbook as well as creating a PDF containing the customer quote form. Specify the folder where you want to save each of the files. Now back in QLM sourcing, you will use the Upload button. Click it once to upload the customer quote PDF that you generated from the workbook, and a second time to bring the customer quote workbook back into QLM sourcing. Once uploaded, your customer quote can be reviewed in the Customer Quote tab and is ready to be sent to the customer. How to send your customer quote is described in the video Introduction to Advanced Customer Quoting. The link is in the description below. To understand more about how we can customize QLM sourcing for your business, set up a consultation with our team today. Thank you for watching our short tour of the Customer Quote Workbook portion of customer quoting in QLM sourcing, where you can apply all your pricing practices to arrive at your customer price for each part you are quoting.